I'm the volleyball coach here at the college, and we use tons of technology in order to run our program. Probably the biggest thing that I get asked about the most is what kind of statistical program we use. A lot of parents even are interested in how to keep good statistics for their kids. High school coaches often call me to ask what's usable and doable. I think previously we used to video. As funny as this seems, we used to video our games, and I would take them home, and then I would do paper and pencil stats on every game after the game was over. And obviously that's tedious and cumbersome. Now with all the technology we have, there are a ton of programs out there that you can use. We've used a bunch of different ones over the time I've been here, but I'm going to show you my favorite statistical program, kind of the basics of it and how to use it, so that you also could do good statistics. This program also has statistics for basketball, football, different things like that. So I'm not familiar with those, but they are available. So on your app, it looks like it's called Statware. It actually, it's this ball, and it actually is a program called Digital Scout. So if you go online and want to find it, you might need to type in Digital Scout. And when you click on that, it's going to give you the opportunity to pick a game that you've created. And it's real easy to create a game off of a plus, but we've created a game already for today, and it's ready to go. And obviously as a head coach, I don't keep my own stats. My student assistant does, and she's the pro at it. And so as we get ready to do a match, she enters in all the data, all the players on our team, all the players on the other team, and she also enters in liberos and things like that, any other information that we might want to know during a match. And this is the summary screen. But when she actually needs to do the work, she'll go to enter new events. And as she pulls up this screen, the biggest thing to understand is one side is our team, Tabor, and the other side is the other team. And we currently on the bench, so Taryn is on the bench with me keeping these live. We only track our side. You can easily track the other side, but if you do, she would need a spotter. This is a program that it's really hard to keep up with all of the game type situations if you don't have a spotter with you, if you're trying to do both sides. And so basically as the game starts, we know that number 7 is going to serve on our team, and so Taryn presses 7 and serve. If that serve is an ace, the server gets a plus, and then that gets entered into the program already. If 7 serves the ball and it's just a serve that the other player passes on the other team, she gets a 0, which just means it's not an ace, it's not an error, it's just a nothing. And if 7 would serve the ball and have an error, she would get a minus. And all of those then go back into our main screen. So after we are done and we exit back to our summary screen, all of those statistics will be on the summary area. So 7 just missed her serve, the other team is serving, and they got a point, so Taryn pressed point so we can keep a running score. After that happens, we know things are going to be happening on our side, and this is where sometimes 10 things can be happening and Taryn's putting them all in. We're just going to show you the very basic part of it. If you know volleyball statistics, obviously you're going to be able to figure the program out. If you don't know volleyball statistics, I'm not doing Volleyball 101 right now, so we'll just skip over a lot of the specifics of it. But we know that 16 is going to hit the ball. Well, first of all, 15 is going to pass the ball. And as she passes the ball, we rate it. It was a perfect pass, so she gets a P3. And we know she passed the ball, so something else is going to happen. Well, 16 actually attacked that ball. And when she attacked that ball, it was a kill. So she gets a plus. And our setter, number 4, got an assist for that play. Now this time, let's say 15 passes the ball and 16 attacks the ball, but it's an error. Our setter would just get an attempt. She didn't make the error, but we have to make sure that we keep track of how many attempts she has. And so now if Taryn would exit back to our summary screen, I'd be able to see all of that under the exact players that produce those statistics, as well as a team summary for what's going on. And so that is what makes this program valuable and why it's worth doing it. Now, if we go back to entering our events, this is the really neat part about the system, is when Taryn, if I say to Taryn I need to track where our hitters are hitting, she can change the preferences and go in and change a button that says we're going to actually chart where everything's going. So now as we go back into the program, enter our events, let's say this time 15 passes the ball. It's a perfect pass. And we know 16 attacks the ball. She's an outside hitter. She attacked cross court. Now we have the trajectory of her attack. And we can enter that it was a kill, so she gets a plus, which means our setter, number 4, also gets the assist. And then later, when I want to go back, I can look at all of 16's attacks and see where was she being productive, which shots was she having error on. So the biggest thing is why Digital Scout? So in the world of college volleyball, we have to own a membership to DaxStats. It's our NAIA required statistical keeper. We have another person keeping all of the DaxStats at the game. That's the official statistical information that goes into the NAIA. But I don't have access to that at practice. I don't have access to that during games. And so what Taryn does is this information then is at my fingertips during timeouts. I'll take the iPad and see who's not producing, where are errors coming from, what kind of system do we need to be doing and changing. And then the best thing is I can make those decisions immediately without having to wait to see the statistics from the computer on top. Now, at the end of it all, if we want to, we can export this to a laptop, which can go onto Huddle, Max Preps, or anything else. But you have to have a membership for that. So the overall cost for what we just did was free. But if you need to have it exported, you're going to need to buy a Digital Scout membership. We don't do that because we have a DaxStats that does that for us. And so the biggest pros are it gives me game time stats, it gives me live stats at my fingertips, it allows us to stat at practice, it gives us lots of good information. The biggest cons are, do you want to pay for a membership to be able to do stuff with the information after you're done? And the other thing is you have to have a really good assistant. Taryn is brilliant at getting the stats done, and not everybody can do that. Sometimes it's just too fast for some people. So you have to make sure you have the personnel to do it. We've used this for several years. It's all Taryn's ever used, and we plan to continue using it. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.